I would like to thank Credence Security for inviting me to speak during this virtual roadshow 2020. The theme is Evolving of Digital Transformation to Cyber Resilience, Digital Forensics, and Incident Response. Today I'm planning to speak with you on the challenges and the future of digital forensics. What I'll be talking to you today is about digital forensics and my experiences over the last 2 decades and the future of digital forensics. So let's start. Now, let's start with the basic definition of forensic science. I know most of you must be knowing, but let me tell you the fundamental principle is that every contact leaves a trace, and trace is any modification subsequently observable resulting into an event. So, forensic science is actually a systematic and coherent study to address the questions of authentication, identification, classification, reconstruction, and evaluation for the legal context. Now, why did I tell you this? Because most of the people are not clear of the pure definition of forensic science and about digital forensics. When you speak of digital forensics, it basically involves various processes. Now, processes such as identification, which is very crucial at the site, you have to identify devices of evidentiary value. Then, processes such as preservation, seizure, packing and transportation, analysis, interpretation, report preparation, and presentation. So, these are the various processes involved in the digital forensics. Now, when we define digital forensics, it's actually the use of scientifically derived and proved methods of digital evidence derived from digital sources. For what? For the purpose of actually facilitating and furthering the reconstruction of event found to be criminal. So it's actually the reconstruction of events in the digital domain. So that's what actually digital forensics is. Now, in layman terms, what is actually digital forensics? Because it becomes very difficult for people to explain what is actually digital forensic. It is basically nothing but to prepare a digital evidence to be produced in the court. So this is the very basic definition of digital forensics. Now, coming on to other aspects of digital forensics, I will come to the challenges, but initially I think I should explain to you few concepts and few misnomers also. So let me tell you what is the outcome of a digital forensic lab. A digital forensic lab produces a forensic report which should be tenable in the court of law. It should not only be accurate but also be credible and stand the legal scrutiny. One more thing which I want to tell you is that every forensic case is a techno-legal case. What I mean to say that every forensic case or every forensic analyst or investigator should be aware of both technology as well as the legal aspects. There's one more thing that mostly people think that digital forensics only involves computer forensics and to some extent mobile forensics. But let me tell you, there are various disciplines in the field of digital forensic. Everyone is aware of computer forensic. Now, computer forensic covers everything from computers to laptops to iPods, right? Then you have even memory forensics is a part of computer forensics, which we call as live forensics, and we have mobile forensics. But let me tell you, apart from all these disciplines, there are many other disciplines which have become a part of digital forensic. For example, cloud forensics, network forensics, automotive forensics, satellite forensics, drone forensics, SCADA forensics, IoT forensics, GPS forensics. So what I'm trying to tell you, as the technology is evolving and new technologies are being accepted by us as humans, forensics is also evolving and many other disciplines are coming in the forefront. So you should be very aware of all these things. Now let me speak of few of the actual facts. Nowadays, the main source of evidence is smartphones, and the devices which come for analysis or investigations. 90% of the devices are smartphones as on date. Maybe in the near future it will change. You'll have something like IoT devices coming, smart devices coming. Now the variety of digital sources are increasing. As I said, you have smartwatches, you have smart TVs, you have smart devices, and also you have other IoT devices coming, other SCADA devices, or other devices which are coming with the evolution of technology. One more thing which is a big challenge for the labs is that out of the 10 devices coming to the lab, 60% devices are either locked or encrypted, or both for that matter. Extracting data from encrypted app is also one of the biggest challenge faced inside the locked app. So what you see is that the applications which are encrypted, the data which is encrypted is also posing a very big challenge. One more thing at the lab is the backlogs. Average backlog of every lab is around usually 4 to 6 months. So whenever a case comes to the lab, there is a backlog of 4 to 6 months. And in every two cases, means one in two cases, there is a requirement of extraction of data from the cloud. And there is a high demand for data analytics and investigations. So these are the initial challenges. Now I said that there are a lot of challenges with the lock phones. Even if you are able to bypass the lock phones, there are other problems such as encrypted apps, amount of data that needs extraction, then inability to decode the artifacts. So these are also other challenges. One very big challenge which is posed in the present day scenario is the capacity. You see the internal storage of any device, specifically I'm speaking of mobile phones, has increased. Now you have mobile phones which have the capacity of 1 terabyte. If you see a few years back, you in 2006, or it's around say 15 years back, the storage capacity was hardly in say in MBs, 64 MBs. In 2008 to 10 they became in GBs. We had mobile phones of say 4 GB to 16 GB which were available. But nowadays the mobile phones which have the capacity of say 1 terabyte. Another problem posed is the types of data. You have text messages, images, videos, contacts, location history, email, CDRs, and it becomes very difficult, and you can say, to actually process this kind of data. The issues with digital forensics is also that the digital evidence which is there is volatile and also fragile. Also, during the process, which starts from the seizure till it comes to the lab for analysis, it can be easily tampered. So these are the also various challenges which are available to the analyst or the investigator. Now let me speak of two major, you can say, roadblocks or bottlenecks which are there. Now there's so much data. I just told you about the capacity. I also told you about the number of devices. Every household or every individual has more than one or two phones. And in a household, you'll find phones, or you can say devices which are amount, or you can say numbering up to 10 or more than 10. Now, the major two bottlenecks at the analyst or the investigator level is data. There's a problem of plenty, what we call. There's a problem of plenty. There's so much data, so many devices, that processing becomes a very big issue. You need fast processing. How will you process? So if you have good tools to process, and if you have good procedures, and if you have good, you can say, infrastructure, then only this problem can be solved. The next problem, one is the problem of plenty, and the other problem is problem of capacity. As I said, the capacity is increasing day by day, and it is rising. There's no other, you can say, field or technology where such a rise has taken place. So there's a problem of capacity. So because of these two problems, problem of plenty and problem of capacity, there's an issue in processing and reviewing of data. So if you see, you have to address two major issues of processing and reviewing our data. Now, initially, reviewing of data also, if you see a study which has been carried out, which was out a month back, it says that in 2019, so there was around, for reviewing data or a phone, it took around 37 hours. but in 2020 it is taking 43 hours. Whereas due to the new tools and techniques, and you can say the sophistications and the processing speed of the hardware, it should actually decrease. But due to this problem of plenty and problem of capacity, this processing time is being increasing. There's too little time and lot of data which is available. So this has to be addressed. Now coming on to the even the changing technologies, you have many technologies which have become a problem. I'll not say problem for the investigator, not a problem for the user, because user is happy with technologies and the ease which he gets with the coming of a new technology. But the changing technologies, I'll just mention a few. SSD, solid state devices, it's a technology in itself. The hard disk, there's a revolution in hard disk technology. Then you have drones, you have artificial intelligence, you have machine learning which is coming in. So this is also the you can say issue for the forensic investigator. Now let me also tell you the problem is also of anti-forensics. There are a lot of anti-forensic techniques which are being used by the accused. For example, I have mentioned about the encryption. You have steganography. There's some wiping which is there. Obfuscation is there. Overwriting of data takes place, right? This degaussing is being done, and so there are a lot of anti-forensic techniques which are being used and which poses a serious challenges to the digital forensic investigator at the lab. Now coming on to other problems such as issue I just mentioned about IoT devices, it's very difficult to locate the evidence. Where is the location? Identification itself is a big issue. Data location, where is the actually the evidence lying, whether it's in the endpoint or it's in the cloud or it's somewhere else. Also, one more issue with this kind of devices is the limited memory. If you're not able to seize a device in a particular time and extract the data, or you're not able to analyze the data, then it is a very big issue when it comes to cloud. Network forensics also, now it means most of, or in fact all the entities across who are having their digital infrastructure are going into network forensics. So cloud forensics is like user digital asset is that you have a server, you have a network, so you have to actually hunt for the evidence in this particular case. Now, let me also tell you one thing regarding the readiness gap. Readiness gap is actually the digital data is increasing, but the resources are decreasing. There are issues like volatility, means volatile. The evidence is volatile when it comes to live forensic. Then you have velocity, the speed, the variety, the volume, the vaulting, which I just mentioned. So there are so many issues or challenges for a digital investigator. And with the coming of other disciplines, as I mentioned in the start, regarding you can say like SCADA, cloud, IoT, and other things, it is also they are going to pose a lot of challenges to the forensic analysis. Now I spoke about the challenges, but what is the future? All the future is that you have to find ways to solve this problem, and the you can say the community, the OEMs, the manufacturers have actually trying to cope up with this, but they are very fine tools which are available in the market. For example, the tools which I frequently use, the tools which can process fast, the tool which give ease of working, the tools which can give the report in the way you can say investigator wants. So there are various types of tools which are available in the market. Now, if to mention a few of them, like if you use say FTK for that matter, it's so easy to use it. So it is very easy for an investigator or the lab assistant to actually analyze this tool. There are various other tools from access data. If you want to do say audio video forensics, you have CanSense, you have MSAB, XRY, OpenText, Teal Technologies, and there's so many you can say OEMs which are providing such fantastic tools which are assisting the digital forensic investigator and actually reducing the time. I'm saying that what I discussed was the problem of plenty, where processing speed and the reviewing has to be addressed. So reviewing time also is being reduced. So these are various tools available in the market which actually address, and there are many more which are available. So what I'm trying to tell here, there are challenges, challenges are being addressed, but there are more challenges which are being posed as the time passes or as the technology is actually improving, or you can say new technology is coming up. So this is what I wanted to bring up in front of you, that as a forensic investigator or as a forensicator, you should be aware of the various challenges coming in front of you, and you should also be knowing what you have to do to solve that problem, what tool to use, what techniques to use. So this is the way out for a forensic investigator. That's what I had for you today.